Shalom, Pastor. This question concerns the number of days that Yeshua was in the tomb. The Bible says in Matthew 12:40, "For just as Jonah was 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the sea monster, so will the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth." If Yeshua was 3 days and 3 nights in the tomb, he must have died on a Wednesday and rose on a Sunday. So he was in the tomb Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and rose on a Sunday, making it 3 days and 3 nights. Many say that he died on the eve of the Shabbat on a Friday. How can you reconcile these dates?
Yes, you are right. If Yeshua died on a Friday and rose on Sunday morning, this hardly amounts to a full 3 days and 3 nights. Some try to resolve the problem by saying that Jesus died on a Wednesday, others say Thursday. So how do we resolve this dilemma? First, which day was Jesus crucified? The scriptures point to a Friday evening before the Shabbat began. This information we find in John 19:31, where it says, "And the Judeans," or the Jews, "because it was the day of preparation, so that the bodies would not remain on the cross on the Shabbat, for that Shabbat was a high day." Right? John specified that day was a high day, meaning that the next day was a Shabbat, but it was not a regular Shabbat because it coincided with the Passover. In Judaism, even today, when a Shabbat coincides with the Passover, it is called Shabbat Hagadol, that is a high Shabbat, just as it says in John right here. So it was then both a Shabbat as well as the day of the Passover. This places the crucifixion on Friday, just before the high day of this Shabbat would begin. Now that we have seen that the gospel account says that the crucifixion was on a Friday, how do we deal with the 3 days and 3 nights? You see, when we are in such a bind, one thing we are to do is go and ask the people who were there and ask them how they resolved this problem, and then we will see it works wonders. Let us first see what the people living then understood this expression 3 days and 3 nights, and then we will see how the Bible supports their understanding. We read in the Talmud this phrase. It says like this: "Part of a day is reckoned as equivalent to the entire day." This means that any part of the day is counted as a whole day. So when it says 3 days, we see that first it could involve any part of the first day. In the case of the crucifixion, that would be Friday. Add to that the full day Saturday, and then any time on Sunday. In fact, Yeshua died in the 9th hour on Friday, that is 3 p.m., counting the whole day of Friday. And he rose after sundown on Saturday evening, when the day in the Bible begins. We often think of Sunday morning, but in the biblical calendar, the account according to the account in the Gospels, Jesus rose before sunset. So does the Bible support this kind of counting that we have seen in the Talmud? Yes, and in many ways. Let me bring you to the road of Emmaus. When the 2 disciples, as we have seen, of Yeshua were discussing the crucifixion, and suddenly Jesus comes and walks with them. They did not know who he was, but he was resurrected already. Now see what they say to him. In verse 21, he says, "But we were hoping that it was he who was going to redeem Israel. Indeed, besides all this, today is the 3rd day since these things happened." When did this meeting with Yeshua happen? The disciple gave the time frame. They said it is the 3rd day. It was not after the 3rd day, but during the 3rd day that here was Yeshua already resurrected. So this supports our understanding of their way to count the 3 days and 3 nights. Any part of the 1st and the 3rd day counts as a whole day. This will help us to understand the account actually of the resurrection when we read about all the information that the 4 Gospels give us. But there is much more to it, for in the Bible the number 3 is used of both a short and even an eternal, so to speak, duration. when at the time of Moses they used it in the same way. We remember when Moses said to Pharaoh that he was going to bring the Israelites on a 3-day journey. But Pharaoh understood very well that what Moses meant, that they were actually going and forever. And we know that in Semitic languages there is no single word to describe the word few or some or several, so it is often replaced by the word 3. So Yeshua died at 3 p.m. on the 14th of Nisan and rose on the 16th of Nisan, perhaps in the first hours or minutes or perhaps second, for we see him already walking on the road to Emmaus with 2 of his disciples on the 3rd day.